Hello everybody, this is Diane. I have completed this fun little journal that I've been working on. I just made one journal this time, and I used a digital kit that Jackie Rockwell sent me. Her shop is Rockwell Design Crafts, and she also sent me a coupon code that my viewers can use through the end of February. From now to the end of February to get 25% off anything in her store. And she has a lot of really nice digitals. And you'll see the one I used here. And the code is RDC25. And you get 25% off. So I will leave her link below, and I will also leave this information in the description box below. The kit that I used is called Variations on a Theme, and it's just beautiful. It has pretty colors, and there's beautiful glassware on it, and butterflies and flowers, music, penmanship paper, backgrounds. There's just all kinds of things you can use to play with. The kit itself comes with, I think it's either 8 or 9 decorative papers, plus some pastel background papers that you can print on the backs of your pages, and a few pockets and cards and a lot of tabs and words, little words. So I'll point these things out, and then I pulled a lot of stuff from my stash to match the colors, and there were a lot of colors I could play with, and also the glassware and butterfly and floral images I used to supplement. So, as I mentioned in the previous video about this journal, I'm trying to get my folder here to show you. This is what I made the cover out of. It's a very sturdy vintage file divider. It would have gone in a file drawer. And I took 2 of them, and I used the one with the tab on the front, and then the back I used another folder and cut a piece that used this, and I have the leftover pieces that I can make some fun things for another journal. I can make some tags and things with those. So that was really fun to do, and I have a couple more. I have some blue ones too that I can use to make covers. I tied it with this seafoam green seam binding. And I just did a collage on the front with some elements that I pulled from my stash. This is a postage stamp set that I've had, and I've been hoarding it because I wanted to use these beautiful glassware stamps, and this was the perfect journal for it. I put some fabric, vintage fabric on the spine, and this beautiful vintage lace. And I used a flexible folder file. I can talk, a flexible folder to make the spine. There we go, like this. So it's a flexible spine, and there's Tyvek and fabric also, so it's not going to tear. And I just tied a piece of that seam binding through the hole on the back. There are 3 signatures, and each signature has 11 pages, so there's 132 pages front and back. I covered up a spot here where a label had been ripped off, and I covered it up with a piece of penmanship book page and this image of a mirror and a butterfly sticker. So you can see on the edge some fabric or trims that I put on there, and the paper tabs. I used all of the paper tabs that came in the kit, and then I punched some more out of pastel cardstock to add. So I think pretty much everything in here in this journal was either from the kit or just pulled from my stash. I didn't make anything special. Maybe I stamped a couple things, and if I did, I'll let you know. But mostly, I guess it's a continuation of stash busting journals, because I pulled a lot of things from my stash. I used some scrapbook paper. This stamp up here label up here says take time to, and then there's a blank, and there were 3 of them in the kit. So I used one at the beginning of each signature. I made pockets and fun elements out of just pieces that I had in my stash. This little tag is from the kit, and so is that word. This was something I had stamped onto a scrap of cardstock, and I had that in my stash. So I put both of those elements in the pocket. I just did a couple little collages with some leftover pieces and some just little ephemera pieces that I had in my stash. This says, I love to journal. Here's one of the pages with a beautiful pottery dish and some ornamental alphabet. And this is one of the background pages. There's 4 different colors. There's pink and yellow, and I think it's green, and then a neutral color. But they're not just a solid. Very pretty. This is from a vintage book. It's got the number on the front edge of the page, and I put some scrapbook paper to reinforce the folded edge. I added beautiful note cards that went with the colors. Put a pocket on the inside with leftover scrapbook paper, and I punched a hole out and added this embossed cardstock behind it, and I just used a black pen to draw around that. This is a fussy cut, and this is from the kit, the word. Because of the glassware images on the pages, I used, besides the stamps, I had some postcards, vintage postcards featuring glassware. So this is a beautiful card I've had in my stash for a long time from the Steuben Glass Works in Corning Glass Center, Corning, New York. It's just a beautiful card. And then I just put this little bunny in here because the blue border was a nice color with this set. I did a collage here. This is not vintage. It looks vintage, but it's not. And I added a doily, which I think I have to glue down better. I knew there was a doily in here that needed some gluing, and I forgot to double check that on my final flip through, you know, checking to make sure everything was done. So some of the words that you'll see in here came in the kit, and some came from something else that I had cut up, another kit. This is from my own kit. This is Victorian Ephemera Set 2, and there were 2 pieces of Victorian ephemera that I had found at a flea market that featured beautiful green glassware. And I remembered them, and I had to actually go print a page from my own kit so I could have those glassware pieces in here, because this kit has glassware and roses, so perfect for that. And I love this really bright spot of color here against this neutral page. This is from the kit. I used some of the penmanship paper. They were just little pages out of a little book, and there were only a few pages in the book. But I used them in the book, in this journal. I added just a little pennant that I made with a scrap and a postage stamp. This is a piece of glassine that came from a photo album that I got at the thrift store. And here we have a piece of rice paper. On this page is an embossed rose on cardstock, and I added this note card. I think somebody sent this to me, but it's perfect in here. This was a sticker that I had, a sticker label, so I glued that down. I had some pages from Rachel Ashwell's Shabby Chic decorating book, so I used 1 page in each signature, and then I think those pages are gone. This is a fun diagonal type of grid paper, and I just did a little collage here. This was just a piece I had in my stash and another of the glassware stamps. This one has music manuscript paper in the background. There's no notes, but it's the lines for writing the music, and this beautiful rose. And there's the yellow background. I had cut this with my Big Shot. I had it in this color, well, white, and pink. And I used them both in this journal. This one has the straw hat and a butterfly or a moth. And I just added a store-bought journaling card here with some washi tape. Again, a scrap that was in my stash that I had cut to size and punched a hole there already to make it into a pocket, and I added that there. And these are some little digital stamps that I have from Eclectic Eggplant. And I had recently gotten this set of Latin phrases and words from Mrs. Cog because I'm a word lover and I love to know where words and phrases originated. So learning the Latin phrases is really fun. So I don't know how to pronounce the Latin, but it means dare to know. This is a little vintage postcard and a library card in a pretty color, and just a plain white card tag that you can decorate or write on. Some of my pages have washi on the edge because when I was printing on the back, for some reason my printer kept pulling them wrong, so that the printing was off center on the back and there was a white edge that I didn't want to trim off. So I just added washi tape. It just adds to the design. On some of the white pages I just added some fussy cut flowers, and this is a piece that I stamped and cut out. This one is a double pocket, again made with the cut off pieces of scrapbook paper, and then I added some pieces that were in my stash. This was really, really fun. I added this postcard. It's a United States 2-cent postcard. And this tag that I made with napkin. And in the little pocket, I put this little tag that came from something, I don't know what, and this pretty playing card. There's a lot of pockets and a lot of things tucked into the pockets. This is the back of that note card, and I put a pocket, scrapbook paper pocket on the front with this piece that's a digital from something, and a Tim Holtz flower. And then I had this in my stash. I had to trim off a tiny bit on both edges to make it fit, but that's a nice journaling space for you. And here I stamped my label stamp on a scrap of blue cardstock. So I did make a couple of these labels. And this is a Tim Holtz Butterfly. This pocket is part of the kit, and it has the little tabs to fold under. It might have been made to stand up the other way and have the top, the tall edge, but I put it on the side. But I put it this way. You can do it whichever way you want to. And I had this embossed card in my stash, so I just incorporated that as part of this pocket. Did a collage here, and behind the bingo card I tucked this vintage paper and a guest check that you can use for journaling. And in the little one I tucked this little note paper that looks like an old postcard, and a little round playing card. And then the second signature has another pocket that I had made with cardstock and a big Tim Holtz Butterfly. and the word craft. That came from this kit. And I added this beautiful vintage postcard. It says birthday greetings. It's just so pretty. And it was used in 1912. It's from Grandma Winch. So there are several vintage items in this journal. This is a digital folder. On this white page, I just added a page that you can write on, some washi tape. This is a stamped image and a digital stamp down here. Another birthday card. I think it's a birthday, but I just thought it went well with the book, and it's so pretty. And I made a pocket on the inside with another postage stamp. I punched a square hole in this one and put a little piece of the penmanship paper behind it and drew some lines around the hole. And there's another postcard with some porcelain or something. Metropolitan Museum of Art. I had gotten a set of cards with furnishings and things like that at a flea market, and I loved them so much, but I put a couple in this journal. Cute little card. The green was perfect. Another collage. I made this pocket with a scrap of scrapbook paper and did a collage. I did this on camera for one of my process videos. And then this is a card that was in my stash. So you can journal on this, and you can journal on the inside. I had this already made in my stash, an embossed mason jar. And I put that on as a tuck spot and added another of those plain postcards. And a store-bought journaling card. There's another sticker. There's no place more delightful than home, Cicero. And there's the shabby chic page. The handwriting page. This is dated 1965. I remember having someone, he was a pen salesman, I think it was Parker Pens, and they came in and my classroom, and it was probably about 6th grade, and they did this little test thing where they had us write things, and then they wanted us to write with their pens, and the most improved person handwriting would get a free pen or something. And one of my classmates, I tried so hard to write very neatly both times. One of my classmates wrote sloppy on purpose the first time, and he won the prize because his penmanship was the most improved. I was just shocked that someone would do that on purpose. Anyway, here's another little collage with some pieces that had been cut with my Big Shot and a little glassware stamp. This is another beautiful image from the kit. I had this little piece that somebody sent me a long time ago, and it just looks very subtle and beautiful, just as a decoration in that corner. This word bingo came from another digital set of ephemera from Dreams, Etc. And this piece is from Eclectic Eggplant. It's another journaling card on this page. Here's a pocket from this kit. And this paper, by the way, is not from this kit. I just needed one more digital, so I already had this printed and I added it. But this envelope is from the kit, and I added this word, which also came with the kit, and I positioned it so that I can tuck the flap into that. And the card was a plain card that came with the kit, and I had this fussy cut in my stash, so I glued that on. You can write on the back. And there's another colored library card and a playing card that features glassware. I didn't know I had so many glassware things, but it was perfect. There's another piece of washi tape on the edge of that. Love this bouquet, and then it's got some spheres and globes and diagrams back here. There's another fussy cut rose and a journaling spot that I stamped. This one is another sticker. Do I have to glue that down? Yeah, it must be I just stuck that without gluing it. I know better than that. These were not very sticky stickers. I can't ship that off being all loose like that. And then this was in my stash of handmade ephemera. Just a collaged tag and this journaling card. This is the back, the inside actually, of that greeting card. It had the same design on the inside as it had on the front. Yeah, it's a birthday card. So you get a bonus picture with that card. And here's another postcard with a Chinese vase on it with the coat of arms of the United States, Museum of the City of New York. This is a piece of ephemera, digital ephemera from Eclectic Eggplant. I love the reds on this one. And then this was a fun little collage that we did on camera with some leftover strips and a fussy cut flower and this little sack I had made. That was in my stash. And then this was a scrap. All of this was in my stash. So you can write on that card, and then the sack can get tucked in there. I glued the bottom of those stems so that it won't slide down. And the third signature, I think I did this one on camera, and I just stuck this piece that was already made in my stash. So it's got two tags you can write on. Another collage. I should have mentioned at the very beginning of this video that I have another journal I'm going to list, and it's a glue book that I was going to keep, but I've decided to put it in the shop. So I should have mentioned that at the beginning so you could stay tuned for that. This is the final note card, and again it's got the hole punched out with the embossed paper behind it, and another postcard. Porcelain ewer from Florence. It says Italian. Very pretty. It's from 1580 to 1600. That's pretty old. And this little slick chick card. And another collage here with a space to write. And here's the other glassware rose image that was from my Victorian ephemera digital. These are genuine stamps here. I love this bowl too. I love that you can tell they're translucent. They're just so pretty. I love the colors. Such a fun kit. And this is a floral cupcake wrapper that somebody sent me in a Happy Mail, I think, because I only had the one. And it's perfect in this book. And then this tag was in my stash. It's got a little vintage gift tag on it. So you can write on that and on the back of the tag. Here's a beautiful label that came from a different kit, but this is also from Rockwell Design Crafts. And she sent these labels to me. So I just wanted to show you quickly. They are beautiful colors, and they come in different shapes, and there's 2 sizes. And they have lace, and some of it looks like this looks like a fabric lace image, and some of it, like this, looks like a paper doily image. They're all beautiful, and there's so many different colors that, well, that doesn't go in that kit. I mean, look at that one. So pretty. So with all these different colors, you'll probably find one to use in almost any journal you would make. Love them. So thank you for the bonus labels that you sent me too, Jackie. There's another collage here. There's the other die cut design. It's a very pale pink. So these little die cuts that I added to these pages were kind of subtle, but add a nice texture to the page. Washi tape on this edge. And this pocket came with the kit. I just did a collage on it. I think the little round piece came with the kit too. And there's another Latin phrase. What is said, dictum factum. What is said is done. And these were just some tags that I had and a $100 bill playing card. Just because the color green was good with this kit. And I had this little pocket in my stash, and I had this little tag in my stash. I had sewn or glued rosettes to the side of it. This little label here is from the kit. There's a florist hang tag, and just a tag that I had made out of a scrap of cardstock. Oh, I almost got through without coughing. That's just a stamped piece up there you can write on. And I used a bigger one of those labels on this pocket. There's a antique postcard here dated 1909. This is so pretty. It's got birds in the background of this one and some music paper. There's another one of the labels that I stamped. And then on the back page, I used one of my pockets that I had made with my die, added some words from the kit, and then just some pieces that I had. I just took a tag and added this ephemera piece, and this is a genuine Victorian piece right here. This is not a digital. I glued on the actual Victorian piece. And with this die, I could have glued the bottom of each pocket, each slot, so that it would be a little tiny pocket, but I didn't. So the big tag goes in the back, and it goes all the way down. And then I have this little postcard that goes in the middle slot. And then I just took this little blue round card and tucked it in there. And these 2 items are also from the kit. This journal belongs to pocket. Looks like a book page. And then a library card. And I put my signature on the back. And there it is. This book is called, it says Moments on the front, but I'm going to call it Variations on a Theme, since that is the journal kit that I used. And I had so much fun making this. I hope you enjoy it. Enjoyed seeing it, and I hope it goes to a good home. because I think it would be fun to use. There's so much in it. And the colors are very nice and cheery, I think. Along with the book would come some of these stamps and this banner that I made with another postage stamp that didn't get used. And then all these cut off pieces that you can make more embellishments to add to your journal. Look, there's another stamp. There's even a piece of the textured paper. So there's lots you can play with. Now the glue book that I am going to put in my shop is this one. It's a My Book House book, Up One Pair of Stairs. I just love this image of the girl, so I wanted to keep this for myself, and I haven't used it yet. I love the piece of vintage quilt on the spine. And the book cover itself was in pretty decent shape. But I haven't used it yet, and I decided I don't need it at this point. I can make myself another one when I do need one. So I'm putting it in my shop. These are the beautiful end papers. I added this. I don't know if there was something there that I was covering, or I just wanted to put something in that open space. Yeah, I already talked about the fabric on the spine. This is wallpaper, scrapbook paper, book page. I think this came from a piano book, actually, instruction book. Yeah, piano student book. This also came from a music book. From a floral book. Beautiful, looks like a moire fabric, but it's a textured paper. It was a flyleaf of a book. 3 Little Kittens book here, an envelope, some vellum. So those are the kinds of pages that are in here. Wrapping paper, it's probably calendar page. Graph paper. A little book that was a pattern for doll clothes. More wallpaper. This is a little cover from a dot grid sketchbook. Another calendar page. There's a lined paper. Love this gift wrap here. It's a nice quality paper. So this is in my shop also. And the link to my shop is below. The link to Jackie's shop with this kit is below. And don't forget to use the coupon code that I will write in the description. So there's a lot of information in this video and in the description box. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll come back for the next video, and I hope you have a creative day today. Bye-bye.